Hi, my name's Rachel. I'll be playing Aegeus, Helena, Snug, and Puck.
Hi, I'm Sierra. I'll be playing Hermia, Bottom, and Puck.
Hi, I'm DJ, and I'll be playing Flute, Demetrius, and Puck.
Hi, my name's Colton, and I'll be playing Lysander, Peter Quince, and Puck.
Hi, my name is AJ. I'll be playing Hippolyta, Oberon, Snout, and Puck.
Hi, I'm Lily. I'll be playing Theseus, Starveling, Titania, and Puck. Now, fair Hippolyta, our nuptial hour draws on apace. 4 happy days bring in another moon, but oh, methinks how slow this old moon wanes. She lingers my desires.
4 days will quickly steep themselves in nights. 4 nights will quickly dream away the time. And then the moon, like to a silver bow, now bent in heaven, shall behold the night of our solemnities.
Hippolyta, I wooed thee with my sword and won thy love doing me injuries. But I will wed thee in another key, with pomp, with triumph, and with reveling.
Happy be Theseus, our renowned duke.
Thanks, good Aegeus. What's the news with thee?
Full of vexation come I, with complaint against my child, my daughter Hermia. Stand forth, Demetrius. My noble lord, this man hath my consent to marry her. Stand forth, Lysander. And my gracious duke, this man hath bewitched the bosom of my child. Be it so, she will not hear before your grace consent to marry with Demetrius. I beg the ancient privilege of Athens, as she is mine, I may dispose of her.
What say you, Hermia? Be advised, fair maid, to you your father should be as a god. Demetrius is a worthy gentleman.
So is Lysander.
In himself he is, but in this kind, wanting your father's voice, the other must be held the worthier.
I would my father looked but with my eyes.
Rather, your eyes must with his judgment look.
I do entreat your grace to pardon me. I know not by what power I am made bold, but I beseech your grace that I may know the worst that may befall me in this case if I refuse to wed Demetrius.
Either to die the death, or to abjure forever the society of men. Therefore, fair Hermia, question your desires. Know of your youth, examine well your blood, whether, if you yield not to your father's choice, you can endure the livery of a nun, to live a barren sister all your life, chanting faint hymns to the cold, fruitless moon.
So will I grow, so live, so die, my lord, ere I will yield my virgin patent up unto his lordship, whose unwished yoke my soul consents not to give sovereignty.
Relent, sweet Hermia, and Lysander, yield thy crazed title to my certain right.
You have her father's love, Demetrius. Let me have Hermia's. Do you marry him?
Oh, scornful Lysander, true, he hath my love, and what is mine, my love shall render him.
I am my lord as well derived, as well possessed as he. My love is more than his, and which is more than all these boasts can be. I am beloved of beauteous Hermia. Demetrius, I'll avouch it to his head, made love to Neater's daughter, Helena, and won her soul. And she, sweet lady, devoutly dotes in idolatry upon this spotted and inconstant man.
I confess that I have heard so much. Demetrius, come, Aegeus, you shall go with me. I have some private schooling for you both. For you, fair Hermia, look you arm yourself to fit your fancies to your father's will, or else the law of Athens yields you up, which by no means we may extenuate, to death or to a vow of single life. Come, my Hippolyta, what cheer, my love?
How now, my love? Why is your cheek so pale? How chance the roses there do fade so fast?
Belike for want of rain, which I could well beteem them from the tempest of mine eyes.
For aught that ever I could read, could ever hear by tale or history, the course of true love never did run smooth. Therefore hear me, Hermia. I have a widow aunt, a dowager of great revenue, and she hath no child. From Athens is her house removed 7 leagues, and she respects me as her only son. There, gentle Hermia, may I marry thee. And to that place, the sharp Athenian law cannot pursue us. If thou lovest me, Then steal forth thy father's house tomorrow night, and in the wood, a league without the town, where I did meet thee once with Helena, there will I stay for thee.
My good Lysander, in that same place thou hast appointed me, tomorrow truly will I meet with thee.
Keep promise, love. Oh, look, here comes Helena.
Godspeed, fair Helena, whither away?
Call you me fair? That fair again unsay, Demetrius loves you fair, oh happy fair. Your eyes are lodestars, your tongue sweet air. Sickness is catching, were favors so, your words I'd catch, for fair Hermia, ere I go. My ear should catch your voice, my eye, your eye. My tongue should catch your tongue's sweet melody. Oh, teach me how you look, and with what art you sway the motion of Demetrius's heart.
I frown upon him, yet he loves me still.
Oh, that your frowns would teach my smiles such skill.
I give him curses, yet he gives me love.
Oh, that my prayers could such affection move.
The more I hate, the more he follows me.
The more I love, the more he hateth me.
His folly, Helena, is none of mine.
None but your beauty would that fault from mine.
Take comfort. He shall know to see my face. Lysander and myself will fly this place.
Helen, to you our minds we will unfold. Tomorrow night, when Phoebe doth behold her silver visage in the watery glass, a time that lovers' flights doth still conceal, through Athens' gates have we devised to steal.
And in the wood where often you and I upon faint primrose beds were wont to lie, emptying our bosoms of their counsel sweet, there my Lysander and myself shall meet, and thence from Athens turn away our eyes to seek new friends in strange companies. Farewell, sweet playfellow. Pray thou for us, and good luck grant thee thy Demetrius.
Helena, adieu. Is you on him, Demetrius dote on you.
Oh, how happy some or other some can be. Through all Athens I am thought as fair as she, but what of that? Demetrius thinks not so, and he will not know but all he doth know, and as he errs doting on Hermia's eye, so I admiring of his qualities. Things base and vile, holding no quantity. Love can transpose to form and dignity. Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind. And therefore is winged Cupid painted blind. As waggish boys and gain themselves forswear, so the boy love is perjured everywhere. For ere Demetrius looked on Hermia's eyne, he hailed down oaths that he was only mine. And when this hailsome heat from Hermia felt, so he dissolved, and showers of oaths did melt. I will go tell him of fair Hermia's flight, then to the wood will he tomorrow night pursue her. And for this intelligence, if I have thanks, it is a dear expense. But herein mean I to enrich my pain, to have his sight thither and back again.
Is all our company here?
You were best to call them generally, man by man, according to the script.
Here is the scroll of every man's name, which is thought fit through all Athens to play in our interlude before the Duke and Duchess on his wedding day at night.
First, good Peter Quince, say what the play treats on. Then read the names of the actors, and so grow on to a point.
Mary, our play is the most lamentable comedy and most cruel death of Pyramus and Thisbe.
A very good piece of work, I assure you, and a merry. Now, good Peter Quince, call forth your actors by the scroll.
Answer as I call you. Nick Bottom the Weaver.
Ready. Name a part-time for and proceed.
You, Nick Bottom, are sent down for Pyramus.
What is Pyramus? A lover or a tyrant?
A lover that kills himself most gallantly for love.
Oh, that will ask some tears in the true performing of it. If I do it, let the audience look to their eyes. I will move storms.
Francis Flute the bellows mender.
Dear Peter Quince.
You must take Thisbe on you.
Oh, what is Thisbe? A wandering knight?
It is the lady that Pyramus must love.
Hey, Faith, let me not play a woman. I have a beer coming.
Oh, that's all one. You shall play it in a mask, and you may speak as small as you will.
And I might hide my face. Let me play Thisbe too. I'll speak in a monstrous little voice. Thisne, Thisne. Ah, Pyramus, my lover dear.
No, you must play Pyramus in flute. You, Thisbe.
Well, proceed.
Robin Starveling the tailor.
Here, Peter Quince.
Robin Starveling, you must play Thisbe's mother. Tom Snout the tinker.
Here, Peter Quince.
You, Pyramus's father. Myself, Thisbe's father. Snug the joiner. You, the lion's part. And I hope there is a play fitted.
The lion's part written. Pray you, if it be, give it me, for I am slow of study.
You may do it extempore, for it is nothing but roaring.
Let me play the lion too. I will roar that will do any man's heart good to hear me. I will roar that I will make the Duke say, let him roar again, let him roar again.
If you should do it too terribly, you would fright the Duchess and the ladies, that they would shriek, and that were enough to hang us all.
I'm not going down for this play.
I will aggravate my voice so that I will roar you as gently as any sucking dove. I will roar as 'twere any nightingale.
Look, you can play no part but Pyramus! For Pyramus is a sweet-faced man, a proper man as one shall see in a summer's day, a most lovely, gentleman-like man. Therefore you must needs play Pyramus.
Well, I will undertake it.
Masters, here are your parts, and I am to entreat you, request you, and desire you to con them by tomorrow night, and meet me in the palace wood a mile without the town by moonlight. There we will rehearse our play. I pray you fail me not.
We will meet, and there we may rehearse most obscenely and courageously. Take pains, be perfect. Adieu.
Over hill, over dale,
Through brush, through briar,
over park,
over pale,
through flood.
through fire.
I do wander everywhere.
Swifter than the moon's fear.
The king doth keep his revels here tonight.
Take heed the queen come not within his sight.
For Oberon is passing fell in wrath.
Because that she as her attendant hath a lovely boy stolen from an Indian king.
He never had so sweet a changeling.
And jealous Oberon would have the child, knight of his train, to trace the forest wild.
But she perforce withholds the loved boy, crowns him with the flowers, and makes him all her joy.
And now they never meet in grove.
Or green,
By fountain clear,
Or spangled starlight sheen.
but they do square.
that all their elves for fear creep into acorn cups and hide them there.
Ill met by moonlight, proud Titania.
What jealous Oberon? Fairies, skip hence. I have forsworn his bed and company.
Tarry, rash wanton. Am not I thy lord?
Then I must be thy lady. But I know when thou wast stolen away from fairyland, and in the shape of Corin sat all day, playing on pipes of corn and versing love to amorous Phillida. Why art thou here, come from the farthest steppe of India, but that forsooth that bouncing Amazon, your buskined mistress and your warrior love, to Theseus must be wedded, and you come to give their bed joy and prosperity?
How canst thou thus for shame, Titania, glance at my credit with Hippolyta, knowing I know thy love to Theseus?
Oh, these are the forgeries of jealousy. And never since the midsummer spring met we on hill, in dale, forest, or mead, to dance our ringlets to the whistling wind. But with thy brawls thou hast disturbed our sport. Therefore the winds, piping to us in vain as in revenge, have sucked up from the sea contagious fogs, which falling in the land hath every petty river made so proud that they have overborne their continents. And through this distemperature, we see the seasons alter. The spring, the summer, the childing autumn, the angry winter change their wonted liveries, and the mazed world by their increase knows not which is which. And this same progeny of evils comes from our debate, from our dissension. We are their parents and original.
Do you amend it then? It lies in you. Why should Titania cross her Oberon? I do but beg a little changeling boy to be my henchman.
Set your heart at rest. The fairy land buys not the child of me. His mother was a votress of my order, and in the spiced Indian air by night, full often hath she gossiped by my side, and sat with me on Neptune's yellow sands, marking the embarked traders on the flood. But she, being mortal, of that boy did die, and for her sake I do rear up her boy, and for her sake I will not part with him.
How long within this wood intend you stay?
Perchance till after Theseus' wedding day. If you will patiently dance in our round and see our moonlight revels, go with us. If not, shun me, and I will spare your haunts.
Give me that boy, and I will go with thee.
Not for thy fairy kingdom! Fairies away, we shall chide downright if I longer stay.
Well, go thy way. Thou shalt not from this grove till I torment thee for this injury. My gentle Puck, come hither. Thou remembrance since once I sat upon a promontory and heard a mermaid on a dolphin's back, uttering such dulcet and harmonious breath that the rude sea civil at her song, and certain stars shot madly from their spheres to hear the sea maid's music?
I remember.
That very time I saw, but thou couldst not, flying between the cold moon and the earth, Cupid, all armed, a certain aim he took at a fair vestal, throned by the west, and loosed his love shaft smartly from his bow, as it should pierce 100,000 hearts. Fetch me that flower, the herb I showed thee once. The juice of it on sleeping eyelids laid will make or man or woman madly dote upon the next live creature that it sees. Fetch me this herb, and be thou here again ere the Leviathan can swim a league.
I'll put a girdle round about the earth in 40 minutes.
Having once this juice, I'll watch Titania when she is asleep, and drop the liquor of it in her eyes. The next thing when she waking looks upon, she shall pursue it with the soul of love. And ere I take this charm from off her sight, I'll make her render up her page to me. But who comes here? I am invisible, and I will overhear their conference.
I love thee not, therefore pursue me not. Where is Lysander and fair Hermia? Thou toldst me they were stolen into this wood. Hence get thee gone and follow me no more.
You draw me, you hard-hearted adamant, and yet you draw not iron, for my heart is true as steel. Leave you your power to draw, and I shall have no power to follow you.
Do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or rather, do I not, in plainest truth, tell you I do not know I cannot love you?
And even for that do I love thee the more.
Tempt not too much the hatred of my spirit, for I am sick when I do look on thee.
And I am sick when I look not on you.
I'll run thee from these woods and hide me in the brakes and leave thee to the mercy of wild beasts.
The wildest hath not such a heart as you.
I will not stay thy questions, let me go. Or if thou follow me, do not believe, but I shall do thee mischief in the wood.
In the temple, in the town and field, you do me mischief. Fie, Demetrius, your wrongs do set a scandal on my sex. We cannot fight for love as men do. We should be wooed, and we're not made to woo. I follow thee, and make a heaven of hell to die upon the hand I love so well.
Fare thee well, nymph. Ere he do leave this grove, thou shalt fly him, and he shall seek thy love. Hast thou the flower here? Welcome, wanderer.
Aye, there it is.
I pray, give thee me. I know a bank where the wild thyme blows, where oxlips and nodding violet grows, quite over canopied with luscious woodbine, with sweet musk roses, and with eglantine. There sleeps Titania some time of the night, lulled in these flowers with dances and delight, and with the juice of this I'll streak her eye and make her full of hateful fantasies. Take thou some of it, and seek through this grove. A sweet Athenian lady is in love with a disdainful youth. Anoint his eyes, but do it when the next thing he espies may be the lady. Thou shalt know the man by the Athenian garments he hath on. Affect it with some care that he may prove more fond on her than she upon her love. And look thou meet me ere the first cock crow.
Hail, fear not, my lord, your servant shall do so.
What thou seest when thou dost wake, do it for thy true love take. Love and languish for his sake. Be it ounce or cat or bear, pard or boar with bristled hair, when thou wakest it is thy dear. Wake when some vile thing is near.
Fair love, you faint with wandering in the woods, and to speak troth, I have forgot our way. We'll rest as Hermia if you think it good, and tarry for the comfort of the day.
Be it so, Lysander. Find you out of bed, for I upon this bank will rest my head.
One turf shall serve as pillow for us both. One heart, one bed, two bosoms, and one troth.
Nay, good Lysander, for my sake, my dear, lie further off yet. Do not lie so near.
I mean that my heart unto yours is knit, so that but one heart we can make of it. Two bosoms interchanged with an oath, so then two bosoms in a single troth. Then by your side no bedroom me deny, for lying so, Hermia, I do not lie.
Lysander riddles very prettily. But, gentle friend, for love and courtesy, lie further off in humane modesty. Such separation, as may well be said, becomes a virtuous bachelor and a maid. So far be distant, and good night, sweet friend. Thy love ne'er alter till thy sweet life end.
Amen, amen to that fair prayer say I, and then end life when I end loyalty. Here is my bed, sleep give thee all his rest.
With half that wish, the wisher's eyes be pressed.
Through the forest have I gone, but Athenian find I none, on whose eyes I might approve this flower's force in stirring love. Night and silence, who is here? Weeds of Athens he doth wear. This is he, my master said, despised the Athenian maid. And here the maiden sleeping sound on the dank and dirty ground. The pretty soul, she durst not lie near this lack love, this kill courtesy. Churl upon thy eye I throw all the power this charm doth owe. When thou wakest, let love forbid sleep his seat on thy eyelid. So awake when I am gone, for I must now to Oberon.
Stay, though thou kill me, sweet Demetrius.
I charge thee hence, and do not haunt me thus.
Wilt thou, darkling, leave me? Do not so.
Stay on thy peril. I alone will go.
Oh, I am out of breath in this fond chase. The more my prayer, the lesser is my grace. But who is here? Lysander on the ground, dead or asleep. I see no blood, no wound. Lysander, if you live, good sir, awake.
And run through fire I will for thy sweet sake. Transparent Helena, nature shows her art that through thy bosom makes me see thy heart. Where is Demetrius? Oh, how fit a word is that vile name to perish on my sword.
Do not say so, Lysander, say not so. What though he love your Hermia? Lord, what though? Yet Hermia still loves you, then be content.
Content with Hermia? No, I do repent the tedious minutes with her I have spent. Not Hermia, but Helena, now I love. Who will not change a raven for a dove?
Wherefore was I to this keen mockery born? When at your hands did I deserve this scorn? Good troth you do me wrong, good sooth you do. In such disdainful manner me to woo. But fare you well. Perforce I must confess, I thought you lord of more true gentleness. Oh, that a lady of one man refused should of another therefore be abused.
She sees not Hermia. Hermia, sleep thou there, and never mayst thou come Lysander near. And all my powers address your love and might, to honor Helen and to be her knight.
Help me, Lysander, help me. Do thy best to pluck this crawling serpent from my chest. Ay me, for pity, what a dream was here. Lysander, look how I do quake with fear. Methought a serpent ate my heart away, and you sat smiling at his cruel prey. Lysander, what removed? Lysander, Lord, what? Out of hearing, gone? No sound, no word? No, then I will perceive you are not nigh. Either death or you I'll find immediately.
Where is...
Are we all met?
Pat, Pat, and here's a marvelous convenient place for our rehearsal.
Peter Quince,
What sayest thou, Bully Bottom?
there are things in this comedy of Pyramus and Thisbe that will never please. First, Pyramus must draw a sword to kill himself, which some people cannot abide. How answer ye that?
Or lock in a parlous fear.
I believe we must leave the killing out when all is done.
Oh, I have a device to make all well. Write me a prologue, and let the prologue seem to say we will do no harm with our swords, and that Pyramus is not killed indeed. And for the more better assurance, tell them that I, Pyramus, am not Pyramus, but Bottom the Weaver. This will put them out of fear.
Well, we will have such a prologue.
Will not people be afeared by the lion?
I fear it, I promise you.
Therefore, another prologue must tell Snug is not a lion.
Hey, you must name his name, and half his face must be seen through the lion's neck, and he himself must speak through, saying thus, or to the same defect, friends, or fair friends, I would wish you, or I would request you, or I would entreat you not to fear. If you think I come hither as lion, it were pity of my life. And there indeed let him name his name, and tell them plainly he is Snug the Joiner.
Ah, well, it shall be so, but there is two hard things. That is, to bring the moonlight into a chamber, for you know Pyramus and Thisbe meet by moonlight.
Doth the moon shine that night we play our play?
Calendar. A calendar, look in the almanac, find out moonshine, find out moonshine.
Yes, it doth shine that night.
Why, then you may leave a casement of the great chamber window open, and the moon may shine in at the casement.
Aye, or else one must come in with a bush of thorns and a lanthorn and say he comes to disfigure or to present the person of moonshine. Then there is another thing. We must have a wall in the great chamber, for Pyramus and Thisbe, says the story, did talk through the chink of a wall.
You can never bring in a wall. What say you, Bottom?
Some man or other must present wall, and let him have some rough cast about him to signify wall, or let him hold his fingers thus, and through that cranny shall Pyramus and Thisbe whisper.
If that may be, then all is well. Come, sit down, every mother's own, and rehearse your parts. Pyramus, you begin. When you have spoken your speech, enter into that break, and so everyone according to his cue.
Hempen homespuns have we swaggering here, so near the cradle of the fairy queen. What a play toward! I'll be an auditor, an actor too, if I see cause.
Speak, Pyramus! Thisbe, stand forth.
Thisbe, the flowers of odious savor sweet.
Odors! Odors!
Odors savor sweet. So hath thy breath, my dearest Thisbe dear. But hark, a voice. Stay thou here but a while, and by I will appear to thee.
A stranger Pyramus than e'er played here.
Must I speak now?
I marry must you, for you understand he goes but to see a noise that he heard, and is to come again.
Most radiant Pyramus, most lily white of hue, of color like the red rose on a triumphant briar, as true as horse that yet would never tire. I'll meet thee, Pyramus, at Ninny's tomb.
Ninny's tomb, man! Why must you not speak that yet? That you answer to Pyramus. Pyramus, enter! Your cue is past. It is never tire.
Oh. As true as horse that yet would never tire.
I were fair Thisbe, I were only thine.
Oh, monstrous! Oh, strange! We are haunted! Pray, masters! Fly, masters!
Why do they run away?
Oh, I'll follow you. I'll lead you about around, through bog, through bush, through brake, through briar.
Sometime a horse I'll be.
Sometime a hound.
A hog.
A headless bear!
Sometime a fire. And neigh.
And bark.
And grunt.
And roar!
And burn like horse.
Hound.
Hog.
Bear!
Fire.
At every turn.
I see their knavery. This is to make an ass of me, to fright me if they could. But I will not stir from this place, do what they can. I will walk up and down here, and I will sing that they shall hear I am not afraid. You were Romeo, you were throwing pebbles, and my daddy said, stay away from Juliet.
An angel wakes me from my flowery bed.
Romeo, take me somewhere we can be alone. I keep waiting, all there's left to do is run.
I pray thee, gentle mortal, sing again. Mine ear is much enamored of thy note, so is mine eye enthralled to thy shape. And thy fair virtues force perforce doth move me on the first view to say, to swear I love thee.
Methinks, mistress, you should have little reason for that. And yet, to say the truth, reason and love keep little company together nowadays.
Thou art as wise as thou art beautiful.
Not so neither. But if I had wit enough to get out of this wood, I'd have enough to serve mine own turn.
Out of this wood do not desire to go. Thou shalt remain here, whether thou wilt or no. I am a spirit of no common rate. The summer still doth tend upon my state, and I do love thee. Therefore go with me. I'll give thee fairies to attend on thee, and I will purge thy mortal grossness, so that thou shalt like an airy spirit go. Come, wait upon him, lead him to my bower. The moon, methinks, looks with a watery eye, and when she weeps, weeps every little flower, lamenting some enforced chastity. Tie up my lover's tongue, bring him silently.
Wonder if Titania be awaked. Then what it was that next came in her eye, which she must dote on in extremity. Here comes my messenger. How now, mad spirit?
My mistress with a monster is in love. Ne'er to her close and consecrated bower, while she was in her dull and sleeping hour. A crew of patches, rude mechanicals that work for bread upon Athenian stalls, were met together to rehearse a play intended for great Theseus's nuptial day. the shallowest thick skin of that barren sort, who Pyramus presented in their sport, forsook the scene and entered in a break. When I did him at disadvantage take, an ass's knoll I fixed on his head. Anon, his Thisbe must be answered, and forth my mimic comes. When they him espy, as wild geese that the creeping fowler eye, sever themselves and madly sweep the sky, so at his sight away his fellows fly. I led them on in this distracted fear, and left sweet Pyramus translated there. When in that moment, so it came to pass, Titania waked, and straightway loved an ass.
This falls out better than I could devise. But hast thou yet latched the Athenian eyes with that love juice, as I did bid thee do?
I took him sleeping, that is finished too, and the Athenian woman by his side, that when he waked, of force she must be eyed.
Stand close. This is the same Athenian.
This is the woman, but not this the man.
Oh, why rebuke you him that loves you so? Lay breath so bitter on your bitter foe.
Now I but chide, but I should use thee worse, for thou, I fear, hast given me cause to curse. If thou hast slain Lysander in his sleep, be nor shoes in blood, plunge in deep and kill me too. It cannot be but that hast murdered him, so what sort of murderer looks so dead, so grim?
So should the murderer look, and so should I, pierce through your heart with your stern cruelty. Yet you, the murderer, looks as bright, as clear, as yonder Venus in her glimmering sphere.
What's this with my Lysander? Where is he? Good Demetrius, wilt thou give him me?
I'd rather give his carcass to my hounds.
Out, dog, out, cur, thou drivest me past the bounds of maiden's patience. Hast thou slain him then? Henceforth never be numbered among men.
You spend your passion on a misprized mood. I'm not guilty of Lysander's blood, nor is he dead for aught that I can tell.
I pray thee, tell me that he is well.
And if I could, what should I get therefore?
A privilege, never to see me more. And from thy hated presence part, I see me no more, whether he be dead or no.
There's no following her in this fierce vein. Here, therefore, for a while, I will remain.
What hast thou done? Thou hast mistaken quite, and laid the love juice on some true love's sight. About the wood go swifter than the wind, and Helena of Athens look thou find. By some illusion see thou, bring her here, I'll charm his eyes again she doth appear.
I go, look how I go, swifter than the arrow from the Tartar's bow.
Flower of this purple dye, hit with Cupid's archery, sink in apple of his eye, when his love he doth espy. Let her shine as gloriously as the Venus of the sky. When thou wakest, if she be by, beg of her for remedy.
Captain of our fairy band, Helena is here at hand, and the youth mistook by me, pleading for a lover's fee. Shall we their fond pageant see? Lord, what fools these mortals be!
Stand aside, the noise they make will cause Demetrius to awake.
Why should you think that I should woo and scorn? Scorn and derision never comes in tears. Look, when I vow, I weep, and vows so born in their nativity all truth appears.
You do advance your cunning more and more. These vows are Hermia's. Will you give her o'er?
I had no judgment when to her I swore.
Nor none in my mind. Now you give her o'er.
Demetrius loves her and he loves not you.
Oh, Helen, goddess, nymph, perfect, divine, to what my love shall I compare thine eye? Crystals muddy, oh, how ripened show, thy lips, those kissing cherries, tempting grow.
Spite! Oh, hell! I see you are all bent to set against me for your merriment. If you were civil and knew courtesy, you would not do me this much injury. Can you not hate me as I know you do, but you must join in souls to mock me too? You both are rivals and love Hermia, and now both rivals to mock Helena. A trim exploit, a manly enterprise to conjure up tears in a poor mate's eyes.
You are unkind, Demetrius. Be not so, for you love Hermia. This you know, I know. And here, with all my goodwill, with all my heart, in Hermia's love, I will yield you up to my part, and yours of Helena to me bequeath, whom I do love, and will do to my death.
Never did mockers waste more idle breath.
Lysander, keep thy Hermia. I will none. If ere I loved her, all that love is gone. My heart to her, but as guest wise sojourned, and now to Helen. It is home returned, there to remain.
It is not so.
Disparage not the faith thou dost not know, lest to thy perils thou abide it dear. Look where thy love comes, yonder is thy dear.
Hearken, knight, that from the eye his function takes, the ear more quick of apprehension makes. Thou art not by mine eye, Lysander, found, mine ear, I thank it, brought me to that sound. But why unkindly did thou leave me so?
Why should he stay whom love doth press to go?
What love could press Lysander from my side?
Lysander's love, that would not let him bide, fair Helena, who more engilds the night than all yon fiery O's and eyes of light. But why seekest thou me? Could not this make thee know the hate I bear thee made me leave thee so?
You speak not as you think. It cannot be.
Oh, she is one of this confederacy. Now I perceive they have conjoined all three to fashion this false sport in spite of me. Injurious Hermia, most ungrateful maid, have you conspired, have you with these contrived to bait me in this foul derision? Is all the counsel that we two have shared, the sisters' vows, the hours that we have spent when we have chid the hasty-footed time for parting us, oh, is all forgot? All school days friendship, childhood innocence? Will you rend our ancient love asunder to join with men in scorning your poor friend?
I am amazed at your passionate words. I scorn you not. It seems that you scorn me.
Have you not set Lysander as in scorn to follow me and praise my eyes and face? And made your other love, Demetrius, who even now did spurn me with his foot, to call me goddess, nymph, divine, and rare, precious, celestial? Wherefore speaks he the star he hates? And wherefore doth Lysander deny your love so rich within his soul, but by your setting on, by your consent?
I understand not what you mean by this.
I do persever, counterfeit sad looks, make mouths upon me when I turn my back, wink at each other, hold the sweet jest up. If you had any pity, grace, or manners, you would not make me such an argument. But fare ye well. 'Tis partly mine own fault, which death or absence soon shall remedy.
Stay, gentle Helena, hear my excuse, my love, my life, my soul, fair Helena.
Excellent.
Sweet, do not scorn her so.
If she cannot entreat, I can compel.
Thou canst compel no more than she entreat. Helen, I love thee by my life, I do.
I say I love thee more than he can do.
If thou say so, withdraw and prove it too.
Quick, come.
Lysander, where'd you times all this?
Hang off, thou cat, thou burr, vile thing let loose, or I will shake thee from me like a serpent.
Why are you grown so rude? What changes this sweet love?
Thy love, oh, out, loathed medicine, out, hated poison, hence.
Do you not jest?
Yes, sooth, and so do you.
Demetrius, I will keep my word with thee.
I would had your bond, for I perceive a weak bond holds you. I'll not trust your word.
What, should I hurt her, strike her, kill her dead? Although I hate her, I'll not harm her so.
What, can you do me greater harm than hate? Hate me, wherefore? Oh, me, what news, my love? Am not I Hermia? Or not you, Lysander? Since night you loved me, yet since night you left me, why then, you left me. Oh, gods forbid. In earnest shall I say?
I, by my life, and never did desire to see thee more. Therefore be out of hope, of question, of doubt. Be certain nothing truer. 'Tis no jest that I do hate thee and love Helena.
Oh, me. You juggler, you canker blossom, you thief of love. What, Have you come by night and stolen my love's heart from him?
Have you no modesty? No maiden shame, no touch of bashfulness. What will you tear impatient answers from my gentle tongue? Fie, you counterfeit, you puppet, you!
Puppet? Why so? That way goes the game. Now I perceive she hath made compare between our statures. She hath urged her height, and with her personage, her tall personage, her height forsooth, she hath prevailed with him. And are you grown so high in his esteem because I am so dwarfish and so low? How low am I, thou painted maple? Speak, how low am I? I am not yet so low that my nails can reach into thine eyes.
Oh, I pray you, though you mock me, gentlemen, let her not hurt me. Perhaps you may think because she is something lower than myself that I can match her.
Lower? Hark again.
Good Hermia, do not be so bitter with me. I evermore did love you, Hermia, did ever keep your counsels, never wronged you. Save that in love unto Demetrius, I told him of your stealth into the wood. He followed you for love, I followed him, but he hath chid me hence and threatened me to strike me, spurn me, nay, to kill me too. And now, so you will let me quiet go to Athens, I will bear my folly back and follow you no further. Let me go.
Why get you gone? Who is that hinders you?
A foolish heart that I leave here behind.
What, with Lysander?
With Demetrius!
Well, be not afraid, she shall not harm thee, Helena.
No, sir, she shall not. There you take your part.
Oh, when she's angry, she is keen and shrewd. She was a vixen when she went to school, and though she be but little, she is fierce.
Little, again? Nothing but low and little? Will you suffer her to flout me thus? Let me come to her.
Get you gone, you dwarf, you minimus of hindering, not grass maid, you bead, you
are
acorn.
too officious in her behalf that scorns your services. Let her alone, speak not of Helena. Take not her part.
Now she holds me not. Now follow me if thou darest, to try whose right of thine or mine is most in Helena.
Follow? Nay, I'll go with thee cheek by jowl.
You, mistress, this coil is long of you. Nay, go not back.
I will not trust you, I no longer stay in your cursed company. Your hands than mine are quicker for a fray, but my legs are longer though to run away.
I am amazed and know not what to say.
This is thy negligence. Still thou mistakest, or else commits to thy knaveries willingly.
Believe me, King of Shadows, I mistook. Did not you tell me I should know the man by the Athenian garments he hath on? And so far, blameless proves my enterprise that I have anointed an Athenian's eyes. And so far am I glad it so did sort, as this there jangling I esteem a sport.
Thou seest these lovers seek a place to fight. Hie therefore, Robin, overcast the night, and lead these testy rivals so astray as one come not within another's way. Then crush this herb into Lysander's eye, whose liquor hath this virtuous property, to take from thence all error with this might, and make his eyeballs roll with wonted sight. And when they next wake, all this derision shall seem a dream and fruitless vision. Whiles I in this affair do thee employ, I'll to my queen and beg her Indian boy, and then I will her charmed eye release from monster's view, and all things shall be peace.
My very lord, this must be done with haste, for night-swift dragons cut the clouds full fast, and yonder shines Aurora's harbinger, at whose approach ghosts wandering here and there, troop-homed churchyards, damned spirits all already to their wormy beds are gone.
But we are spirits of another sort. I with the morning's love have oft made sport, but notwithstanding haste, make no delay. We may effect this business yet ere day.
Up and down, I will lead them up and down. I am feared in field and town. Goblin, lead them up and down. Here comes one.
Where art thou, proud Demetrius? Speak thou now.
Here, villain, drawn and ready. Where art thou?
I will be with thee straight.
Follow me then to plainer ground. Lysander, speak again. Thou runaway, thou coward, art thou fled? Speak in some bush. Where dost thou hide thy head?
Thou coward, art thou bragging to the stars, telling the bushes that thou look'st for wars, and wilt not come? Come, recreant, come, thou child!
Yeah? Art thou there?
Follow my voice, we'll try no manhood here. He goes before me and still dares me on. When I come where he calls, then he's gone. Fallen am I in a dark, uneven way. And here will rest me, come thou gentle day. Ho, 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 coward! Why comest thou not?
Abide me, if thou darest, for well I wot thou runn'st before me, shifting every place, and darest not stand, nor look me in the face. Where art thou?
Come hither, I am here.
Nay, then thou mockst me. Eightness constraineth me, and to measure out my length on this cold bed.
Oh, weary night, O long and tedious night, abate thy hours, shine comforts from the east, and sleep that sometimes shuts up sorrow's eye, steal me a while from mine own company.
Yet but three? Come one more, two of both kinds makes up four. Here she comes, cursed and sad. Cupid is a knavish lad, thus to make poor females mad.
Never so weary, never so in woe. I can no further crawl, no further go. Here, I will rest me till break of day. Heavens, shield Lysander if they mean a fray.
On the ground sleep sound. I'll apply your eye, gentle lover, remedy. When thou wakest, thou takes true delight in the sight of thy former lady's eye. And the country proverb known that every man should take his own, in your waking shall be shown. Jack shall have Jill, naught shall go ill. Man shall have his mare again, and all shall be well.
Stay away from Julia. I was crying on the staircase, begging you please don't go.
Come, sit thee down upon this flowery bed, while I thy amiable cheeks do coy, and stick musk roses in thy sleek smooth head, and kiss thy fair large ears, my gentle joy. Come, my love, wilt thou hear some music?
I have a reasonable good ear in music. Romeo.
Or say, sweet love, what thou desirest to eat.
Methinks I have a great desire to a bottle of hay. Good hay, sweet hay hath no fellow.
I have a venturous fairy that shall seek the squirrel's hoard and fetch thee new nuts.
I pray you let none of your people stir me. I have an exposition of sleep come upon me.
Sleep thou, and I will wind thee in my arms. So doth the woodbine the sweet honeysuckle gently entwist. The female ivy so enrings the barky fingers of the elm. Oh, how I love thee, how I dote on thee.
Welcome, good Robin. Seest thou this sweet sight? Her dotage now I do begin to pity. For meeting her of late behind the wood, seeking sweet savors for this hateful fool, I then did ask of her changeling child, which she gave me, and her fairy sent to bear him to my bower in fairyland. And now I have the boy, I will undo this hateful imperfection of her eyes. Be as thou wast wont to be, see as thou wast wont to see. Dian's bud or Cupid's flower hath such force and blessed power. Now, my Titania, wake you, my sweet queen.
My Oberon, what visions have I seen? Methought I was enamored of an ass.
There lies your love.
How came these things to pass?
Silence a while. Robin, take off his head. Sound music. Come, my queen, take hands with me and rock the ground whereon these lovers be.
Fairy king, attend and mark, I do hear the morning lark.
Then my queen in silence sad, trip we after the nightshade. We the globe can compass soon, swifter than the wandering moon.
Come, my lord, and in our flight, tell me how it came this night that I sleeping here was found with these mortals on the ground.
But soft, what nymphs are these?
My love, this is Aegeus' daughter here asleep, and this Lysander is, this Demetrius is, this Helena, old Meter's Helena. I wonder of this being here together.
No doubt they rose up early to observe the rite of May.
Good morrow, friends. St. Valentine is past.
Pardon, my lord.
I pray you all stand up. I know you two are rival enemies. How comes this gentle concord in the world?
My lord, I shall reply amazedly, half sleep, half waking, but as yet I swear I cannot truly say how I came here. But as I think, for truly would I speak, I came with Hermia hither. Our intent was to be gone from Athens, where we might be without the peril of the Athenian law.
My lord, fair Helen told me of their stealth, of this their purpose hither to this wood, and I in fury hither followed them. Fair Helena in fancy followed me. But my good lord, not by what power, but by some power it is, my love to Hermia melted as the snow, and all the faith, the virtue of my heart, the object and the pleasure of mine eye is only Helena. To her, my lord, was I betrothed, ere I saw Hermia, but like a sickness did I loathe this food, but as in health come to my natural taste. Now do I wish it, love it, long for it, and will forevermore be true to it.
Fair lovers, you are fortunately met. Aegeus, I will overbear your will, for in the temple, by and by, with us, these couples shall eternally be knit. Away with us to Athens, 3 and 3. We'll hold a feast in great solemnity. Come, Hippolyta.
Methinks I see these things with parted eye when everything seems double.
So methinks, I have found Demetrius like a jewel, mine own and not mine own.
Are you sure that we are awake? It seems to me that yet we sleep, we dream. Do not you think the Duke was here and bid us follow him?
And he bid us follow to the temple.
Why then we are awake. Let's follow him. And by the way, let us recount our dreams.
When my cue comes, call me and I will answer. Flute the bellows mender? Hey, ho, Peter Quince. Now the tinker. Starveling. Gods, my life. I've had the most rare vision. I had a dream. Past the wit of man to say what dream it was. And man is but an ass if you go about to expound this dream. I was. There is no man can tell what. Methought I was, but methought I had. But man is but a patched fool if you will offer to say what methought I had. The eye of man hath not heard, the eye of man hath not seen. Man's hand is not able to taste, his tongue to conceive, nor his heart to report what my dream was. I will get Peter Quince to write a ballad of this dream, and it shall be called Bottom's Dream, because it hath no bottom. And I will sing it at the latter end of the play before the Duke.
Have you sent to Bottom's house? Has he come home yet?
He cannot be heard of. Out of doubt he is transported.
If he come not, then the play is marred. It goes not forth, doth it?
Masters, the Duke is coming from the temple, and there's 2 or 3 lords and ladies more married. If our sport had gone forward, we'd all been made men.
Oh, sweet bully Bottom.
Where are these lads? Where are these hearts?
The bottom of most happy hour.
Masters, I am to discourse wonders, but ask me not what. For if I tell you I am no true Athenian, I will tell you everything as it fell out.
Let us hear, sweet Bottom.
Not a word of me. All that I will tell you is that our play is preferred. No more words. Away! Go away!
"'Tis strange, my Theseus, that these lovers speak of,
More strange than true.
but all the story of the night told over, and all their minds transfigured so together, more witnesses than fancy's images, and grows to something of great constancy."
Come now, what masks, what dance shall we have to wear away this long age of 3 hours between our after supper and bedtime? What revels are in hand? Is there no play to ease the anguish of a torturing hour?
"There is a brief how many sports are rife. Make choice of which we will see first. The battle with the Centaurs to be sung by an Athenian eunuch to the harp.
We'll none of that.
Ooh, the riot of the tipsy bacchanals, tearing the Thracian singer in their rage.
That is an old device.
A tedious brief scene of young Pyramus and his love Thisbe. Very tragical mirth.
Merry and tragical. Tedious and brief, that is hot ice and wondrous strange snow.
And we will hear it.
If we offend, it is with our good will. We do not come as minding to content you. Our true intent is, all for your delight we are not here, that you should here repent you. The actors are at hand, and by their show you shall know all that you are like to know. Gentles, perchance you wonder at the show, but wander on till truth make all things plain. This man is Pyramus, if you would know. This beauteous lady, Thisbe, is certain. This man with lime and rough cast doth present wall, that vile wall which did these lovers sunder, and through wall's chink. Poor souls, they are content to whisper, at which let no man wonder. This man with lanthorn, dog, and bush of thorn presenteth moonshine. For if you will know, by moonshine did these lovers think no scorn to meet at Ninus' tomb, there to woo this grisly beast, which lion height by name, the trusty Thisbe coming first by night, did scare away, or rather did affright. And as she fled, her mantle she did fall, which lion vile with bloody mouth did stain. Anon comes Pyramus, sweet youth and tall, and finds his Thisbe's mantle slain, whereat with bloody blameful blade, he bravely broached his boiling bloody breast, and Thisbe tarrying in mulberry shade, his dagger drew and died. For all the rest, let lion, moonshine, wall, and lovers twain at large discourse, while here they do remain.
In this same interlude, it doth befall that I, one Snout by name, present a wall. And such a wall as I would have you think, that had in it a crannied hole or chink, through which the lovers Pyramus and Thisbe did whisper often, very secretly. And this the cranny is right and sinister, through which the fearful lovers are to whisper.
Oh, grim looked night, O night with you so black, O night which ever art when day is not, O night, alack, alack, alack. I fear my Thisbe's promise is forgot. And thou, O wall, thou sweet and lovely wall that stands between her father's ground and mine, thou wall, O sweet and lovely wall, show me thy chink to blink through with mine eye. Oh, thanks, courteous wall. Jove shield thee well for this. But what I see? No Thisbe do I see. Oh, wicked wall, through whom I see no bliss. Cursed be thy stones for deceiving me.
Oh, wall, full often hast thou heard my moans for parting my fair Pyramus and me. My cherry lips have often kissed thy stones with lime and headed up in me.
I see your voice. Now will I to the chink to spy, and I can hear my Thisbe's face. Thisbe!
My love, their heart, my love, I think.
Think what thou wilt, I am thy lover's grace. Kiss me through this hole of this vile wall.
I kiss the wall's hole, not your lips at all.
Wilt thou at Ninny's tomb meet me straightway?
Tide left, tide death, I come without delay.
Thus have I, Wall, my part discharged so, and being done, thus Wall away doth go.
You gentles, you whose gentle hearts do fear the smallest monstrous mouse that creeps on floor, may now perchance both quake and tremble here, when lion rough in wildest rage doth roar. Then know that I, one Snug the joiner, am a lion fell, or else no lion's dam. For if I should as lion come in strife into this place, 'twere the pity of my life.
This lanthorn doth the horned moon present. This lanthorn doth the horned moon present, myself the man in the moon doth seem to be.
Deed, moon!
All that I have to say is to tell you that the lanthorn is the moon, I the man in the moon, this thorn bush my thorn bush, and this dog my dog.
This is old Ninny's tomb. Where is my love?
Oh,
Sweet moon, I thank thee for thy sunny beams. I thank thee, moon, for shining now so bright. For by thy gracious golden glittering beams, I trust to taste the truest Thisbe sight. But stay, O spite, but mark, poor night, what dreadful dole is here. Eyes, do you see? How can it be? Oh, dainty duck, oh dear. Thy mantle good, what? Stained with blood? Approach, you furies fell. Oh, fates, come, cut thread and thrum, quail, crush, conclude, and quell. Oh, wherefore, nature, didst thou lion's frame, since lion violed hath here deflowered my dear, which is, no, which was the fairest dame that lived, that loved, that liked, that looked with cheer. Come, tears, confound, out sword and wound the pap of Pyramus, aye, the left pap where the heart doth hop. Thus die I, thus. Now I am dead, Now I am fled. My soul is in the sky. Tongue, lose thy light. Moon, take thy flight. Now die, 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 die.
Asleep, my love? We're dead, my dove. Oh, Pyramus, arise. Speak, speak. Quite dumb. Dead? Dead? A tomb must cover thy sweet eyes. These lily lips, this cherry nose, this yellow cowslip cheeks are gone, are gone. Lovers make moan, his eyes were green as leeks. Oh, sisters three, come to me, with hands as pale as milk. Lay them in gore, since you have sore, with tears as thread of silk. Tongue, not a word. Come, trusty sword. Come, blade. My breast and brew, and farewell, friends. Thus this be ends. Adieu. Adieu. Adieu.
Moonshine and Lion are left to bury the dead.
Aye, and Wall, too.
No, I assure you, the wall is down, that parted their fathers. Will it please you to see the epilogue?
No epilogue. I pray you, for your play needs no excuse. Never excuse, for when the players are all dead, there need none to be blamed. Very notably discharged. The iron tongue of midnight hath tolled 12, 'tis almost fairy time. Sweet friends, to bed. A fortnight hold we this solemnity, in nightly revels and new jollity.
Now the hungry lion roars, and the wolf beholds the moon, whilst the heavy ploughman snores, all with weary tasks fordone.
Now the wasted brands do glow, while the squitch owl switching loud puts the wretch that lies in woe in remembrance of a shroud.
Now it is the time of night, that the graves all gaping wide, everyone lets forth his sprite, in the churchway paths to glide.
And we fairies that do run by the triple Hecate's team, from the presence of the sun follow darkness like a dream. Now our frolic.
Not a mouse shall disturb this hallowed house.
I am sent with broom before to sweep the dust behind the door.
Through the house give glimmering lights by the dead and drowsy fire. Every elf and fairy sprite hop as light as bird from briar.
Hand in hand with fairy grace, we will sing and bless this place.
If we shadows have offended, think but this and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here, while these visions did appear.
And this weak and idle theme, no more yielding but a dream. Gentles, do not reprehend. If you pardon, we will mend.
And as I, an honest Puck, if we have unearned luck now to scape the serpent's tongue, we will make amends ere long, else the Puck a liar call.
So good night unto you all. Give me your hands if we be friends, and Robin shall restore amends.